Hi, it's Maya here, and today I thought I'd film a video where I restock my most anticipated TBR shelf, which is one shelf on this bookshelf behind me. I have another bookshelf in the other room, which has all of my TBR books, and in this one I only keep my most anticipated ones. So I will shop my shelves and refill that. And after that I will use my random TBR numbers that were left over from November when I did my random TBR You Choose My TBR month. So I had 3 numbers left over that people gave me on Twitter corresponding to books. So after I have restocked my TBR shelf, I will use those 3 numbers, pick 3 books, and you can vote in a poll and decide which book I will read in May. Now, if you haven't been watching my community updates, I'll briefly tell you that the reason why there were no videos last month was because our computer broke and we had to order a new one and wait for it to come and then set it up and everything, and then my webcam refused to work with it. I have now actually ordered an actual camera for the first time in my life that I will somehow learn to use to film my videos, but we recently discovered that the webcam will deign to work in one specific USB port on our computer, so that's how I'm filming this intro. But now I will take you to some clips of me filling my TBR shelf that I filmed on my phone, so sorry for the shaky cam. These are all handheld, but here we go. So here we have the books currently on this shelf. There's quite a lot of space. As you can see, I've just sort of highlighted the light tree there so that the shelf would look a bit better. But let's turn it the right way. Also, looking at these books, I don't think I currently feel up to reading Two Like the Lightning and also the Winged Histories. I'm really anticipating both of them, but they both have a writing style, really intricate, beautiful writing style that I don't feel like up to reading right now. So let's take those off. The first book that I'm going to add here just arrived for me in the middle of April, and that is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. So this one is definitely my most anticipated. I think I'm gonna read it in May, but for now we're gonna put it here. So these are organized in alphabetical order by the title of the book. And now that we look at this, we have room for, I would say, 5 more books on this shelf. So we are gonna move back to my other room and to my TBR bookshelf and choose some things to fill this out. Here we are at the TBR bookshelf, and this first shelf is books that I own multiple books in one series of, and then the rest are in alphabetical order by the title, and there at the end are 3 of my Poirot books in the order that they go in the Poirot series. So let's just look at these and see what I'm the most interested in right now. If I was in a bookstore, which of these would I pick up? I think instantly I would go for The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia, because this is a fantasy of manners. It's inspired by Fantasy Eclat Paris, I think. I'm really feeling like reading Fantasy of Manners lately. So that's one. And then I would also pick up and look at Beauty, because this is a fairy tale retelling and I always pick up fairy tale retellings. So I think this is actually Sleeping Beauty, a retelling, and not Beauty and the Beast by Sherry S. Tepper. And this is written in journal form. I'm gonna pick this up. I think that's it for this shelf. How about this one? I would pick up True Queen, because Regency Fantasy of Manners by Zen Cho. And I really like everything else that I've read from her, so this one is coming with me. And then this one has vampires, or then some science fiction by women. I can't decide. Let's look at the series. Okay, and from the series shelf, I would pick up Melusine by Sarah Monette, because this is a dark fantasy series. I actually don't like this cover, but I'll pick up this one. And now that I took out Melusine, I think Two Like the Lightning will actually fit here with the other books in the series. Yes, that looks good. So now we have 4 books, so 1 more. I think I will go for Sunshine by Robin McKinley, which is a contemporary fantasy with vampires. So there was room for one more book, so I went and got Cordelia's Honor by Lois McMaster Bujold. And this is a binder, but I'm going to alphabetize it by Shards of Honor, which is the first book, so you're not confused why I put it under S. Here we go. So now let's pick out those random numbers that were left over in November that people gave me on Twitter for me to randomly choose books on my TBR, and you will tell me what I should read this month. The first number is number 6 from Leah Cooper. I will not be counting Fourth Assassin or The Monster Barrow Cormorant because I will need to read or reread other books before these two. So number 6 on my TBR shelf currently is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Fall of the Kings by Ellen Kushner and Delia Sherman. I actually started this in, was it April or March? And I sort of had a false start with it, but I really, really liked it. So I would be happy to continue. Then at Reading Ace gave me number 8. So if Fall of the Kings was number 6, 7, 8. We have The Light Tree by Frances Hardinge. This is a young adult book about a young girl who discovers a light tree. And finally, Rhea from the Bookfinch gave me number 13. So if that was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is The Tropic of Serpents by Mary Brennan, another sort of for historical fantasy of manners thing about a woman who studies dragons. These are actually all books that I really want to read. I guess that's the point of a most anticipated TBR shelf. So now it's time for you to pick the book that I will read in May. There will now be a poll in the corner, so you can choose if I read The Fall of the Kings by Ellen Kushner and Delia Sherman. This is a Fancy of Manners book in the same world as Sword's Point and The Prelates of the Sword, which are right here on my favorite shelf. And this one I think is set in the same world, but a lot many years after the first two. The only thing I know about this is that it is set in a university. The second choice is The Light Tree by Frances Hardinge. This is a new to me author. I haven't read anything from her before. And in this one, a girl discovers her disgraced father's journals. And there's a tale there of the light tree, which is a tree that, when told a lie, will uncover a truth. And finally, I have The Tropic of Serpents, the second book in the Lady Trent series, where the dragon naturalist travels all around the world to study dragons, and this time she will study the legendary swamp worm. So these are the 3 books that you can choose from, and I think I will give you this week. So when I post this video, the following Monday, I'll pick the one that has the most votes. But that's all for me for now. Tell me in the comments which books you would have chosen from my TBR shelf in the other room, and I'll see you in my next video.